Hello, welcome to my channel where I help you make better coffee and I give you honest reviews. Today I have been requested by you, the follower, to do a milk tutorial on the Breville Barista Express before we kick it to the curb. No, I really loved this machine for a long time, but that's beside the point. I'm going to show you how to make an oat milk latte-ish. It's kind of funny. I don't know if you can really truly get to a real like latte because the the bubbles always seem to get a little bit bigger. But that's beside the point. We'll try to get something workable. And then old reliable whole milk. So I'm going to show you how to do a latte style whole milk, and I'm also going to show you how to do a cappuccino style whole milk. There's differences in how you want to steam it and everything. So let's get started. I have everything ready. I have 2 thermometers here. I'm going to use this as the digital instant read, and then this is nice because it clips onto the actual, as you can see there, it clips on there to your pitcher. But I'm going to use this because it's a little bit more accurate. It's easier for me to see and easier to show you. So let's do that, and now I'm going to pull my shot. I've already set everything up. We are going to go ahead and get on in there. Also, I'm going to show you a couple tips on not necessarily how to do latte art, because I'm no latte artist. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you there. This shot is not super good or dialed in, but that's it's not a big deal. That's not what we're worried about. But yeah, so I'm going to show you a couple tips on how to not waste a lot of coffee and practice your like latte art pours and stuff, because I've been doing a lot of it, so I've been kind of testing out different methods, and I'll show you 2 of them. So let's go ahead and get started. So I have the shot pulled. I'm going to use this cup to pour into, so let's do that. Yep, got a little mess there. Let's clean that up. Okay, looks good. All right, so let's go ahead and turn this steam wand on. So step 1, get the steam wand arm heated up. The Breville Barista Express takes kind of a little while. You flip that switch. It's not instant like one of these Gaggias. You really need, you flip that switch and you wait until it starts steaming out. You want that kind of gross water to get out too. All right. All right, so hopefully we can get in real close and everybody can see exactly what we're doing here. So first of all, the pour line. You can see a divot here, right where the sort of the nozzle goes into. We're going to pour right below that, so hopefully we can show you. So we're going to get right to it, basically. Now you have a little bit of wiggle room. You could be off by, some people say about like half an inch or so. But my goal is to always get right to the bottom edge of that. And you can kind of see it sort of make a line there. Hopefully that's easier to get on. Okay, so now that steam arm is ready to go, I'm going to place this in here. I'm going to pull this all the way out, so keep it all the way out, all right? And then you're going to get the tip of this into here. Now, if it's not deep enough, mine is, in this case, it is deep enough. You want the tip to just be on the bottom, okay? So let's get that on the bottom, and then let's turn this on. Oh, let me get my, before I forget, I want to show the temperatures off here. Whoop. Okay, so let's get that back on there. Okay, so that looks about right. It's hard for me to get in here without like getting my head in the way of the camera, but we'll make it work. Now, even though we've heated that up, it still tries to cool itself down to get to espresso range. So it takes a couple of seconds to reheat. Now I want you to listen. So that wasn't the best start, but You really want, there we go. You hear that like sort of hissing sound? That's what you want the whole time. And then if you can get in there to see that swirl. Okay, so right around 80 degrees, I'm gonna pop that in and then get this swirl. So you see those big bubbles over there? The goal is to kind of break those up. So you really want to integrate those. Right now we're at 94 degrees. We're gonna pump this up. I don't like to go much above over like 130 with normal milk. So I'm gonna bring it all the way up to 130. Now I will say what's really nice with the Barista Express is that it's very slow, which is annoying in some ways, but it's really nice to learn. So I'm gonna stop it right here at like 120 because it does go up a little bit. Okay. So I want you to see this swirl. See that nice kind of like paint-like texture? That's what we're always aiming for. Also, make sure if you're doing this, you're always cleaning this off immediately because it gets really gross really fast. All right, so I think we got a pretty good texture here. It's maybe a little bit foamier than I would have hoped for, but that's okay. All right, so we're gonna keep this to the edge. Again, I'm not gonna give you a latte art tutorial. I'll link it above, but just for fun, let's see if we can get something. Okay, so nope, and it probably poured over the edge, yep. But you see that that is beautiful textured milk. I want you to take a good look at that textured milk because I can do it, so that means you can do it because I'm not, I just started practicing, I just started learning just for you guys. So it's not that hard. I think that you could do it, especially if you use my method of with the pouring and getting all that stuff set up. So this is the first one. Now, here's another cool thing. I'm gonna show you sort of a demo of what I like to do if I wanna re-pour latte art. So this doesn't always work, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pour this back in. Now that sounds not smart, and it's maybe not, because it might not work, but I found that if you pour a little in there, and then if you have cocoa powder at home, because really what you're trying to do is you're trying to paint the surface there with a different color. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this, we're just kind of mixing the top up. Okay. So now we're going to see if I could pour latte art again. So we're going to go in, let's see. Yeah, you got a little bit of a heart. So it's not a perfect science, and sometimes it works out a little bit better than other times. This time it only kind of worked out. I let it sit longer than I really should have. When you do this, you want to be really quick, but it's a good way to get one extra pour or maybe a couple, like maybe 2 extra pours, just to kind of get the feel of pouring. Because it does take a while if you're really trying to work towards getting art. Not that this is art, but anyways. All right, so now we're gonna go into doing another shot, and I'm gonna show you another tip that I'm gonna show you on not having to waste coffee, because if you're doing this and you wanna do a lot of, you wanna pull a ton, you can reuse a shot maybe 2 or 3 times, because again, like I said, if you're not planning on drinking it and you just wanna practice latte art, you can actually just run this again. So I'm just gonna run it until I get a couple of ounces in there. And again, this looks disgusting, but that's not the point. So I know there's no crema in there, it's nothing like that, but it has enough kind of body to still raise the milk to the top, and it has enough color to dye that milk as well. I'll say that you won't get quite as much differentiation in the yeah, you won't get like really nice lines as much because it won't be quite as dark. But again, it's just for practice. So it's kind of nice to do, to not have to waste as much coffee, because coffee is expensive and it's, you know, something that we shouldn't waste. I really believe that fully. Okay, so now we've poured latte. Now we're gonna do a cappuccino. So on this one, you're gonna go slightly below that spout line. So we're gonna go like about a half an inch below, just high enough that you could still reach the that steam wand right at the bottom of the milk. Hopefully you can see that. Maybe you can see it there, I don't know. Again, like right about there is where you want to be. We've already pulled a shot out. Again, just reuse the shot, you know, once or twice. Don't go too crazy with it because it's just going to look gross and it won't even work anymore. But after that, what we're going to do is put your thermometer in there. Get that in. Because this has been preheated, sorry I'm like getting my head in this shot, but I really need to see this. You basically want that tip right beneath. So on the latte art, you're able to go a little bit lower, but just use that. Okay, here we go. Okay, so for those first couple bubbles, it's okay because they're gonna get integrated. There we go. And listen for that hissing sound. Okay, so on the latte milk, we started to integrate at 80. We're gonna go a little bit, we're really gonna get this thing going. So wait until you hit about 105. And then start integrating. And then again, right around that 120 on the Barista Express, like right around 125. Here you should hit that 120, 130 right on the dot. I'm gonna quickly clean this off. Okay. We're gonna try latte art, but again, this is cappuccino milk, so might not work. Not bad. I'd say that's doable. I think that's pretty good. I probably should have started a little bit further down, but let's say your latte art was terrible. If it's terrible, I got you covered. Go into the description below, pick up yourself some stencils. I have one that comes with the where did it go? I have one that comes with all these stencils. I think there's like 20 stencils, and it also comes with 2 of these, one for cinnamon and one for cocoa powder. So this is really pretty latte art. Well, ish. It's somewhat pretty latte art. But what we're gonna do is you're gonna put that right on top of your cup, and then just kind of tap-a-roo. Give it a little tappy. Tap-a-roo. All right. And this is actually kind of common for cappuccinos. A lot of times they put a little bit of cocoa powder on them. All right, so the big reveal. Wah! It looks pretty nice. It makes a fun way to do a little bit of, you know, some type of art, especially if you're not good at it, you're just getting used to it. You're just practicing, but you still want to drink the coffee that you make. Do this. It's really easy. It's super cheap. I think these are, I don't know, like 10, 20 bucks. Again, I'll leave the description below. In the description below, you'll get the link. I think it's great. All right, let's do the next one. Let's move on to the very, very difficult but doable oat milk. Okay? So first of all, make sure your pitcher is cold, and make sure your oat milk is extremely cold. Just pulled it, in this case, you know, we didn't just pull it out, but it's pretty cold. I kept it a little bit cooler than I would have in the refrigerator. And what we're gonna do is, same pour placement, we're gonna go right to this lip, right to the bottom of the lip, okay? So we're gonna pour it in, and right there. Okay. Now, oat milk, it's a bit of a ham. All right, so we're gonna do the same thing. I wouldn't recommend doing this more than 3 times. So this is my 3rd time. Let's do a little bit more right there. Okay. Again, like this is like getting watery now, but again, it's okay. That's not the big deal. The big deal is getting latte foam here. All right, so we're gonna throw this in. Same exact thing with milk. You want to get it not right in, you don't want it on the side like this, okay? You don't want this ever to be touching the side. You want it kind of like in between the middle and the side. And then, like I said, you're gonna take this spout, you're gonna run it up the side, and then get the tip just slightly beneath it. And then I have already ran that out, so let's give it a couple of seconds here. Again, the Barista Express is very slow, but it's nice to learn with, and I think they should have changed the name from Barista Express to Barista Beginner. Okay, so that wasn't a good start, but let's see if we can recover this. Okay. Listen for that hissing sound. That's the sound you want. It's basically just getting the tip slightly above there. So on oat milk, we're gonna shoot to start incorporating at around 90 degrees. And right about now. Okay. So we've increased in volume, that's a really good sign. And now we're just kind of letting it all swirl together. Now oat milk, I go a little bit less in temperature because it does have a lower scalding point, so you get kind of off flavors once you get above like right about here. So again, you're gonna get some temperature that's still in there. So this actually hit 120 right on the dot. Again, look at that like kind of wet paint look. This is really perfect. I think we're gonna get a nice pour here. Okay, so we're gonna make a base here and then look at that. Okay, so let me again explain. This was perfect. If this was a true espresso that wasn't, you know, really watered down, this would have been beautiful lines. And actually, this came out pretty dang good. But because it was not a super strong espresso, obviously you don't have as nice. But to do this with oat milk is very hard. I'm gonna tell you though, if you use the method, I've practiced this many times. I'm telling you, my wife probably hated all of the lattes I had to make for her in the morning because it just got old. But I'm telling you, it's worth the payoff because if you learn it a couple times and you use my method that I've showed for each type of milk and what type of texture you're looking for, I think you're gonna nail it like every time. It's really not a super difficult thing to do once you get the technique down. Just follow my step-by-step here, and I think you're gonna get really good results. Please don't forget, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one.